Okay. Good morning, boys and girls. This is a really bad idea this morning, as usual. Not sure what I want to go over. There were some comments yesterday. Let me see if I can share my screen here about my weather report yesterday, I believe. Chrome tab. Refuting the critics, weather report October 9th. We'll share, but not the audio. Maybe, I don't know. Hard to say what I'm doing. Anyway, not sure if you can see that or not, but so Zell 311 mentioned, let's see, so if Adam and Eve had a bunch of kids, not in the Bible, how is the biblical genealogy, the literal timeline of human existence? What we were talking about is the only evidence or the only reason that they have for this 6,000-year-old timeline. I'm not muted, am I? No, not muted. Michael intruded. Yeah, they do good cat impressions. The only reason they have for this 6,000-year timeline or any of the science that they promote is the Bible. And they believe in that as foundational. So they start with the Bible, and then they go out and read science, and then they complain that we're doing pseudoscience because we're not interpreting the papers in the same way that they do. And they make the case, well, there are multiple ways to interpret the evidence. And they keep saying this over and over again. And I put the confidence they have in the Bible, I think, is a source of dissonance in the way our minds work. I'm guessing that they see the Bible versus all of scientific literature as a one-to-one match, like a fight, except they have absolute confidence in the former. Foundations are an interesting topic to think about. Now, when you get into a conversation with one of these guys, the first thing, the presuppositionalist, like Darth Dawkins is the worst, they will ask you, well, how do you explain where we came from? Or how do you answer the question of, where did reason and logic come from? Where did natural laws come from? So it's clear that what Christianity does for them is answer these hard, what I call 5-year-old questions. Daddy, why is the sky, or why doesn't the sun fall down? Why is the sky blue? Daddy, where do we all come from? What does it mean? That sort of shit. I see these as kind of, from a naturalist point of view, I see those as kind of juvenile questions. But they basically give these people a foundation, and that seems to be what they crave. But then they read the Bible, they're absolutely certain that Jesus crawled up out of a tomb, and came back to life and all this crazy stuff. So it's almost impossible to deal with them. And then Standing for Truth, just spews out science. And he never, unless you get him late at night, he doesn't talk about the Bible at all. Then Otangelo, when you listen to him, he spews out science. And then if you listen to him long enough, or if you piss him off, he will start talking just Bible thumping, foundationalism. He actually did that a great deal after a number of conversations with Demeter. And I think he got frustrated, and with molecular alchemy. He got frustrated, and then the true Otangelo worldview came out, which is Bible first. We have our foundations. We know how it all started. We have the absolute answers to all of those 5-year-old questions. And from that, they interpret the science. They claim to interpret the evidence in a different way. Now, when it comes to evidence and naturalism in science, there's a method called methodological naturalism. When you do a scientific experiment and you mix two chemicals together and some carbon dioxide comes out, you never ask the question, did God do that? Was that magic? Did that just happen for supernatural reasons? That isn't how you're going to investigate any scientific problem. And yet they complain that we should be doing exactly that in evolution, that we should be looking back. If we're looking at historical, what happened, how things are connected into the past, that we should not be using methodological naturalism, and that we're blinkered and our worldview is, getting in our way and all that bullshit. But methodological naturalism is not a worldview. When you do a scientific experiment, it is a method. You can believe anything you want about the creation of the universe or how you got here. It doesn't matter. But when it comes to figuring out why carbon dioxide is coming out of that mixture, you are going to use methodological naturalism. You're going to look for chemical, physical laws. You're going to look for chemistry. You're going to look for things that we know. And it kind of drives you crazy because they keep spinning you around in circles. I am going to put my link because I'm going to run out of juice here. I think, I'm afraid. Sometimes I just run out of things to say. I don't know. Like randomly, you never know when it's going to happen. Other times I say way too much randomly, and you never know when that's going to happen or what the fuck I'm going to say. But anyway, so the point I want to make here is that this foundationalism is a very big difference in how they think about the world, where I will say, and then they yell at us, they say, well, you don't know, you don't have any reason to believe in naturalism because you don't know how this or that happened. Well, I'm okay with that.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey.
How you doing, Mr. Speed?
Hey, I was actually talking.
Well, sorry, buddy. I figured I'd come in and, keep you company.
Okay, well, no, I'm glad you came in to keep me company, but I was kind of in the middle of a thought and now it's gone. I was talking about foundationalism and how, like, when you get into a discussion with them, they're always asking you, well, how did it all begin? They expect us with science to answer these 5-year-old questions. Daddy, what is it all about? Daddy.
I mean, okay, that's an insult to 5-year-olds. Okay, never mention that again. That's it. Wow.
Okay, 3-year-olds. Can we?
No, not even that. Like, it's an insult to. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So, but there's something very foundationally different in the way we think. They think they have answers to all these questions. They're sitting there with that wry smile and they're holding the Bible under their arm and they're saying, well, we know the answer. We just got to get rid of this science shit and make the evidence match our answer. That's what they do. I mean, it's just.
No, I know. I was just laughing at the truth. It's funny because it's true.
It's horrible. It's just. I could play a little clip here. Let's see.
Yeah, well, I'm away from the computer, doing the dishes like a good little boy.
Oh, good. Dishes are good.
Oh, let me try again. By the way, I don't know. I don't know if you got a chance to watch Jay Pasik's stream from last night.
No, I haven't.
But he's like, you know what? Fuck you. Well, he didn't say fuck you, Smokey Saint. He just said, I'm not going to engage with Smokey Saint again.
Good. Because nobody should. I mean, there's nothing relevant about this man. Oh my God. I need to shut my phone off. Gary, why don't you check when I'm online? People dealing with my wife.
Yeah, there's really nothing relevant about it. Like,
no.
Okay, you know what? I'm all for a good debate and a good discussion, but it's like, standing for truth and Smokey or whatever. They have so many of these debates. Like, what the fuck do they get out of it? In their minds they think, yeah, I beat this guy, I won. Where's my cookie? I'm like, okay, just no.
Yeah, I don't know.
People say I'm a loser.
Anyway, there's this thing called the C-value paradox, and that is that you take two different fish, and one has 120 times as much. Its genome is 120 times bigger than another fish, and they seem to pretty much have the same structure and pretty much the same function. And then you have plants where some of them are like 1,000 times bigger than other plants, and they seem to do just fine. And so it's called the C-value paradox. And if there is no junk DNA, then why on earth? This ought to be interesting.
I mean, junk DNA, as it was known, has been found to have uses, right? Isn't it responsible for creating ribosomes and echo?
Somebody's echoing.
Uh-oh. Is it me?
Yes.
It's probably me.
Oh, come on. Wait, hold on. Who is this? I'm not by the computer.
That was okay. Manny just dropped out. This one guy is. I'm not. Are we echoing now?
No, but this one guy's audio issues always always kill me.
It's always.
Thanks, buddy.
So what the hell kind of device are you on, Todd? Like tin cans and a rope?
Yeah, I'm primitive. I use this primitive device called the Samsung 10S Plus. It's really primitive.
Okay, is that like biblical? Samsung?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was sent from the sky. Actually, it fell down.
I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it.
So
I would say, what's the point of claiming a victory? Not saying that these guys are or whatever, but
well, no.
what's
See,
the point?
they do claim victory, right? It's one of those things where, Jesus, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say, what's the point in claiming victory if you never actually win anyone over to Christ? Like that would be the whole point in debate.
Yeah, but see, you're actually smart. You're actually a good Christian, as far as I know. I don't know
No,
you.
I'm
I'm
evil.
like, well, okay. According to Saint Augustine, everybody is born evil. Okay, even a baby has original sin.
Yeah, fuck them babies, crying all the time.
Whoa.
I need my diaper changed.
No.
Do it yourself.
No. I was making a point. I was making a point by saying that the original sin was originally created by Saint Augustine because, man, was the guy fucked up in the head.
yeah, like you've heard about toddlers, right? Toddlers are responsible for more accidental gun deaths than any other age group.
And then they sit there and laugh about it when
they do. So if the doorbell rings and you see a toddler, you draw your weapon.
Speed. Speed. Okay,
Drop that little fucker.
Speed. Shut in the dark here. Okay, if you had somebody, if you had somebody come to this stream and they never heard the word toddler, hypothetically, they would believe what you just said. Like, holy shit, those toddlers sound bad.
Oh, okay. That was a joke, guys. This YouTube channel does not condone gutting down toddlers.
But some, but you never fucking know. There could be somebody out there who never heard the word. I know.
What's a toddler? Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. No, but gun-toting toddlers, man, they're a problem. You got to watch out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. That's what the diapers are for too. They can stuff a lot of weapons in those things.
Well, wait.
I was gonna say,
are you a toddler? You have a diaper. You wear a diaper.
Well, no, diaper toddlers, I guess. Okay. So we have classifications. We have baby, toddler.
I needed to laugh.
Oh,
Thank you, Speed. I needed to laugh.
What comes after toddler?
Kid.
Problem child. Problem child.
No, the problem was the birth. That was the problem to begin with.
Yeah.
No, Problem Child was actually. You know what? Problem Child was actually an interesting movie when I was growing up.
Yep.
I was going to say, do they ever? I was going to say earlier to the conversation, like, do those guys ever give answers when they say like they ask those 5th grade questions or whatever that you said? Do they ever give you answers for it, or do they just ramble on?
They ramble on.
The believer?
Yeah, the believer in that. Like when they ask you, like, where did logic and reason come from?
Well, I guess if you press them on it, they'll say that God made it, because it's the nature of God. God made it. So,
Interesting.
And it's like, and when you start doing that, go ahead.
Yeah, it's weird. I would say, when does God come to reason things? When is God ever changing his mind and saying, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to think about what I'm doing before I do it." God just does,
I mean, if he knows everything, yeah. Like, you know what? Doesn't it get boring to be God? Like, everything. Nothing surprises you. Like he's up there in heaven going, Man, I'm fucking bored.
Well, it's
Like,
funny.
people.
See, if he is bored, everything was made for God's pleasure, so to ease his boredom.
Well, no,
So
no,
that's
no,
kind
no.
of funny.
See, no. See, but that's the point I'm making. He, like, okay, he knows everything that's gonna happen, right? So say if he created the universe out of boredom, and he knew everything, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't make sense when you analyze it, because like, if God knows everything and he knows what's gonna happen, yeah, the guy is pretty fucking bored right now.
Well, yeah, some guys make dominoes, right? They make these beautiful, wonderful moments of dominoes, and then what do? Knock it all down.
Knock them down.
Yep,
I
knock them
know,
down.
but yeah,
Build
but
the
hold
next
on,
one.
but see, but the point, but the people that do that are not God. They really don't know, like, where the dominoes are gonna stop. I mean, they kind
That's
of
fair.
do, but they don't. You know what I mean? There could be some outside force that that fucks
A
everything up.
wind, yeah. Satan gets in the way, yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, it's almost like, well,
No.
I mean,
Ellen
God
Watt.
created Satan, so it still doesn't apply, Tog.
Yeah, it's still a creation. He made it that way. He wanted to stop because he's like, I got to rebuild it.
Ellen Watts sees Christianity as an immense game of like cops and robbers, where God says, "Okay, Satan, you go down there, you be the bad guy, I'll be the good guy, and we're going to create this group of free-willed players in between us, and we are going to scare the living shit out of them."
I mean,
for the duration of their life.
isn't that what they basically did to Job? I mean, poor fucking guy. Jesus Christ. The man was a fucking saint, and God and the devil were like, let's fuck with him. Like, that story disgusts me, honestly.
Well, it's more or less like a metaphor.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
people are supposed to push their position in Job, and then it's like something like do whatever you want to Job, cause him all the horrors you want, but the end, Job doesn't do anything except wish that he wasn't born, and then God comes in and just gives him like a pep talk or whatever, and he's like, okay. But
okay, Todd,
yeah.
I like you and all, but wow, that was a really bad apologetic.
No, I wasn't apologizing. It's just it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's not.
So,
yeah. It is
so you
it
get
is.
a lot of you get a lot of crap from Praise and Smokey, don't you?
I don't know. Probably
because you don't seem to follow some sort of whatever doctrine they follow, or you don't have a doctrine.
I'm a mean poopy head, I guess. I don't
no
know.
True Christian.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention.
Okay.
Something about Holy Spirit.
Tog is not a true Christian.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're not true.
Speed, you're not a true atheist, so you're getting kicked out of the club.
Well, I talked to Nicola the other day, and he insisted I'm not really a physicalist, but then I redefined physicalism a little bit. But the thing is that if you don't have any concept of God, or like there are some doctrines where you can't know what God is, like he's too big for you to know, so you just give up and you don't know God, but you know of God.
But see, that makes no sense. It's like
no, but it does. Okay, look at a physicalist or a pure naturalist and an atheist. We don't know what the underlying fundamental structure of the universe is geometrically. We haven't solved it all. We don't know. It's too big for us to know. We're working on it, but we don't know. So
I mean, if you're talking about string theory, there are pros and cons to that. Like, some people think that string theory.
I'm talking about all theories.
Well, okay, all theories, but you said the underlying geometry of the universe.
Right.
Right. We know some things about the geometry. Tog, would you mind muting?
Sorry.
Okay, as I was trying to say, we know some things about the geometry of the universe. For example, because a triangle equals 180 degrees, we can surmise that the universe, for lack of a better word, is flat. You know what I mean? It's not, it's not Pringle shaped, and it's not sphere shaped. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I'm talking about the overall or the encompassing geometry of the universe. We don't know what kind of geometry it is. We do know that it hashes out as a 4D space-time geometry to us, and then we can that basically something about it is 4D space-time.
Hold on a second.
But we don't know what's outside of it.
Yeah, a surface can be flat, but still be part of a 3D shape.
Right.
Ergo, the universe, the overall shape of the universe could be a torus, if I remember correctly, right? Isn't there like a theory that says that the universe?
Yeah, but we're not going to go down that physics pit right now. So
I mean, you're
I'm
right. Leo is not. You're right. Leo's not here.
Leo's not here. I'm just saying that we don't know, and that's okay. I'm okay with not knowing because there's a fuck of a lot I do know. I know I am right here, right now, talking to two other human beings. Oh, and now three. I think Manny's back.
I mean, are you sure? I mean, are you sure? Are you sure we're human beings?
Well, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm not human.
Well,
I died once.
Like
Well,
the
okay, there's
reason.
some question
No,
about
see,
you.
the reason why I say that is because, there are some people online who be like, oh, well, because this is online, things are not real. Things doesn't matter. I'm like, well,
Oh yeah, I'm a vampire.
hey,
Let's go there.
well,
I was watching Blade last night.
no, that's not where I was
Oh,
going. If you
okay.
watched Jay's stream last night, he actually lays it out beautifully, because there are some people who are like, well, the internet is not real life, so you shouldn't care about what you do to people, or or no, nobody is their true self online, which
Well, he
Jay
was.
which Jay dismantled beautifully yesterday. Or
I don't know.
last
I care
That's
about
actually not true.
Yeah, Jay kind of. If you watch the
Some
whole thing, Jay
people are honest
disagreed
online,
with
like
it,
me,
and then he
for
agreed with
instance.
it.
No, okay, one at a time, because Manny said it's not
Sorry.
true. What do you? Like, what did you miss? What did you not agreeing with? I'm just giving you what Jay Pasek said on his stream last night.
Are we there?
Can we go back to something you talked about before?
Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not, I'm not
Sure.
married to the idea of talking about.
Yeah, this is the weather report. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We don't care what you talk
You were
about.
talking something about logic back there, and whether logic comes from God, right?
Yeah.
So, if I understand correctly, there's this interesting thing where, Christians simply insist that God is logical, and therefore logic would sort of like emanate from him into the universe and make a logical universe, and therefore the ability to think logically and the laws of logic would be sewn into reality, like they're actually there objectively. However, if I understand correctly, Islam says that God can be a nut job. They say, no, he's God. He doesn't have to be logical. He can do whatever he likes, even if it's a contradiction, because he's God. So,
but then how does objective
difference.
morality exist? Jesus Christ.
I guess.
Is morality
Yeah.
still not subjective? Because if God can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Okay, but
I
I can make exactly the same claim of the unknown physical basis of the universe. It hashes out as logic.
Of course
And
you
it
can.
does, because
I
it's
would say
logical.
this.
Of course
I
you
would.
can.
I would say this before, because I'm about to ready to leave. From my understanding, you guys can take it or leave it. I'm not saying it's a truth or whatever, but from my understanding, from the Bible, logic and reason come in when Eve decides to eat of the apple, because she uses logic and reason to step away from ultimate logic and reason, which was already God. The serpent had lied to Eve that they would gain knowledge of God and they would be like God, but they were already made in the image of God. So that was a lie already. So
Jesus.
Okay, can I help you out there?
That's a good metaphor.
That is.
You're sort of mixing up. You're sort of mixing up Christianity and the Tanakh, which is actually not Christian; it's Jewish. The Christians took these ideas from the Greeks, not from the Hebrews. The Hebrews have nothing about this logic stuff. They took it from the Greeks, which had two different views. Plato, who thought that everything comes from, like, we're born with logic, we're born with certain knowledge, and Aristotle, who said, no, we build everything from the ground up. You arrive at logic from watching nature and finding the laws of logic around you and coming to induce that it probably works everywhere. So they went with the Platonic idea.
Yeah, can I add on to that? I think it's actually a mixture of the two, because there are some people who seem to know things they never learned about. You know what I mean? We call them savants, or you know what I mean? It's only it's a once they get training, they get better. but there are some people who seem to have innate knowledge. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but
I would say, I guess, in response to the logic and reasoning thing, like, I get what you're saying, how it comes from the Greek, and I'm talking about the Torah, but what I'm saying is that's when it was first applied, is when humans first showed up. That was the first thing that we did wrong, was sway away, be able to be convinced otherwise, that there was another way outside of God. And that was the original. I guess that's what I was hinting at. But yeah, I'm driving
okay,
right
so
now, and
what you're
I
doing
want to
with
feel like I
Adam and
cop out,
Eve.
but yeah, I gotta get going. So I'll listen to the side chat. Take care, guys.
Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead. I'll respond to what you said. Like, love. So saying that Adam and Eve brought reason and thinking when they ate of the apple, I think we are forcing our modern views on a very, very old story that just wanted to tell a story of how things came to be the way they are. Like, why do women experience pain or die in childbirth? Oh, because she ate this apple thing. But if we view it from a modern person's perspective, yes, that's where reason comes in. And that's why in the Jewish mystical theories, there's sort of like a reflection of God called knowledge, which is not actually God. It's a sort of pale reflection of God. And that's what the apple gave them, a pale reflection of what God is in the form of knowledge. So,
I mean, that's an interesting interpretation.
What's happening?
Like,
it
honestly,
is.
I don't
But
know. To
again,
me,
it's just playing around with the story.
yeah. But to me,
No, the story is a simple.
all right.
It's just a simple myth, like everyone else's.
Yes, I know it's just a simple myth, but what one interpretation you can also give, you can also give about the story is that curiosity is bad, therefore obey.
Yeah, exactly. That
Yeah.
yeah. Do as you're told,
I don't know, the
or
metaphor
you'll get
about
punished.
knowledge of good and evil and knowledge in general seems to me to pay homage to the human conundrum of knowing that we are going to die. I mean, we know things about the future, so we can have anxiety. And the Buddhists have this shit all figured out. I don't know why in the fuck you Christians and Jews do not go and look at Buddhism, because they got all this shit like really well figured out.
That's because Buddhism is much older, so they've had more time to iron this shit out.
More time.
Christianity, Islam,
No,
and
no. Buddhism isn't older. Not older than Judaism. Nope. Slightly younger than Judaism.
Well, how about Hinduism?
I was half joking, I guess then, but yeah, okay.
Okay. Anyway, so I mean,
Stoicism.
Oh, Stoicism is cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be appreciated in Stoicism.
But I mean,
except the things you cannot change the things that you can.
Manny, what are your thoughts on this? The dialogue always runs to, oh, you don't know the answer to this, you don't know the answer to that. You have to have a foundation for this, a foundation for that.
They want to feel special.
Do you believe in that foundationalism, that you have to have a foundation? Like right now, I got up this morning. I did not review the rules of logic or mathematical logic. I did not review the rules of reasoning. I did not justify my entire existence or any of that. I just got up, made a fucking cup of coffee, and went pee.
Can I ask you a simple question?
Sure.
When we teach kids arithmetic,
yep,
do we teach them number theory, or do we just teach them how to add and subtract?
Unfortunately, we teach them how to add and subtract first.
In first grade, right? Because they can't study number theory in first grade. It's abstract. They can't do abstract. Their minds are not there.
Not till they're 12 or 13, yeah.
So obviously they can't do arithmetic, right? Because they don't have the foundation.
Right. But they do it anyway.
They can. Oh, okay. So apparently you can do stuff even if you don't have a foundation.
Yeah.
I may not know what the foundation is. That does not mean I cannot do it.
And that
you don't know what a foundation is either, so screw you.
that's kind of the main thinking behind Zen, is that you do not
We're the
need
same.
a mind. You don't need a mind at all. You just need to operate. And when you operate, you need to do so ethically. And we all know what good and bad is. And we don't have to have a fucking foundation. Like, the interesting thing, if you go to Walmart, or if you go to, whatever the hell you have, wherever the hell you are in the desert over there.
Okay, I want to add to that really quick, but finish your thought.
Okay. My thought just, the thought is gone now.
Well, okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but I would,
Okay, go ahead.
I would argue that there is a difference between not being aware of the foundation and not having one. You know what I mean?
One not having. Well, we all have a foundation in what we are. That's same as God.
Well, you can learn something without having a foundation, which, okay, but there is a foundation. Just depend. I don't know. Just the way it was put.
So that's what I said about, I don't know what the foundation is, and I don't have to know, and they don't know either. They just made up one.
Right.
They just came up with, okay, I have this bullshit story about the foundation, and now I win because I know and you don't.
But get this. Oh, okay. Should I back up? When you go to Walmart or some superstore, or you go out amongst a bunch of people, like to a fucking Led Zeppelin concert or something. Boy, that dates me, or something like that. When you go there, you don't go there and hide from every other human being because you don't know what their moral foundation is, and you don't know if they're moral. You automatically assume that every human being, and I mean, you don't go there knowing that all of them are believers. I mean, there could be a lot of atheists at a Led Zeppelin concert, and you don't go there armed and think, oh my God, these atheists are going to kill me because they have no basis for their morality. We always assume of other human beings that they have a basically moral and social nature, that we had that social contract, and that usually works unless you go into the wrong neighborhood or the wrong alley. But so we know that foundation. But then in a lot of ways, okay, this, like, I get up and I start operating without thinking. I have an empty mind. I have not reasoned every part of my morning, right? And I get up, and yet I do all of these things. That isn't the same. That is the same as relying on a spiritual connection with God. So for an atheist to get up in the morning and just walk around and start doing things, you're relying on a spiritual connection with what you are and what the universe is, and you rely on it, and it's solid. It works every fucking morning. Otherwise, we'd be dead, right?
I agree, but then, I'll ask foundations. Like, if you take psychology takes phenomena that have been going on forever and trying to figure out the theoretical foundation beneath them. If you take Led Zeppelin, what came first, music or music theory? Music was first.
Yeah.
And then we came up with the theory, and now we use that as a foundation for making new music. But we came up with the foundation after we had music.
I mean, if anything, the foundation makes it stronger. Like, you're right. It's just
okay. It allows us to improve in various ways. It also blocks us in some ways, because if you study a certain musical theory, you sort of block out others. And there's more than one way to view music. There's more than one way to view octaves, for instance. But
yeah.
The thing is, we come up with these foundations after we have the thing, like, and Speed is right, Mike's right, ethics. We had morality. Without foundation, people stopped killing each other on a whim millennia ago without having foundations for it. They just did.
So, I mean,
it made sense.
There's a whole huge mess of humanity that we could just rely on, and I call that spirituality.
Yeah.
As an atheist. Why did I hide Smokey?
Well, you deleted his comment. Smokey saying was hidden by speed of sound of gravity. Like, dude, honestly, I know what he said. sucks, but you know what? That just fuels his his persecution complex.
Persecution? You mean, am I persecuting Smokey? Yeah, I am.
Well, there you go. It's like it just fuels that.
He is the only person I've ever blocked. He's probably the only person I ever will block. And he's blocked, and now he's blocked forever because I gave him one fucking chance. I unblocked him. He come here, and he starts calling somebody a Eurotrash twinktard. He said the word trash, okay? I explained to him, I don't want to hear your fucking garbage mouth talk anymore. I don't want to think about garbage and trash, okay? I take the fucking trash out. I don't want to think about it all day. I don't want to talk about it on YouTube, okay? And then he comes back and he said the pedo word. The second thing he said is a fucking pedo word. It's like, fuck you, pedo defenders. It's like, no, if you don't have anything, I mean, he had two chances to say something intelligent about this conversation, to have a philosophical talk, and he comes in with this bullshit. Well, guess what? Smokey is never going to talk on this channel again until I change my mind.
I understand. I understand that, and I suppose being called a pedophile defender is worse than being called a Nazi. So,
well, I don't know. Pedophile defender is not as bad as being a pedophile, I guess.
Well, no, like the point is that I've been called a Nazi, and I haven't really blocked anybody.
You're not a Nazi?
No.
Everyone's been called a Nazi.
Oh, yeah, everybody's been called.
I've been called a Nazi.
Yeah.
I mean, well, okay. Well, here's my question to you. You know,
what the fuck is a Nazi?
Speed.
What?
Okay, here's my question to you, Manny. Have you shown interest? Have you shown interest?
A Nazi on the web was in reality.
I give up. Okay, I'll try again. Have you shown interest in wanting to read a book? Okay, I'm gonna try again because this is ridiculous. Sorry. Have you shown an interest? Have you shown an interest in reading a book? That's considered Nazi propaganda.
Okay.
That's why I call it. Well, okay, no. The book I showed interest in reading was the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which has been proven to be fake. But because it's Jewish because it's propaganda against the Jews, it's automatically evil. I'm sorry, somebody can't read a book.
Have you seen the anti-Semitic coronavirus memes? It's really funny. They took Elder of Zion pictures of the evil Jew, turned him green, and gave him these like corona spikes to show that now Jews are the ones behind corona. And they use the same images of the Elders of Zion.
Wait a minute, Jews are from China?
No, Jews are just okay. I'll give you an example of corona theory. An Israeli rabbi said that corona is because Jews wash their hands and other people's don't, so we won't get corona. But some might get corona because we have homosexuals in Israel, and God will punish us with corona. That's why you will not see corona in Arab countries, because they don't have gays, except for Iran. You'll see corona in Iran because they don't like Israel. And that's the one theory of one rabbi delivered in one speech.
I just realized I'm Jewish because I wash my hands.
Count the contradictions.
I mean, there are many. And
yes, Jews are immune to corona.
Yeah, I apologize for getting frustrated before because I was trying to say something and it just...
Yeah, it's Jews are immune to corona, except they're not because of gays. So Arabs are immune to corona because they don't have gays, except they're not because they don't like Israel.
I'm confused. I heard that China did it. Then I heard the Democrats. It was a plot by the Democrats. Now you're telling me it's Jews? You know, what is it always?
Of course it's Jews. And it's also but it's the gay Jews.
Damn. It's just like
the gay Jews.
Gay Jews. Oh.
Gay Jews also give earthquakes. So I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Rabbis have explained that earthquakes happen because of gays. Yeah.
Please don't.
We do earthquakes apparently.
Please don't send me.
Yeah, exactly. That's our joke.
Many. Don't send it.
That's what we say to each other. We caused earthquakes today. It's like,
Neff. Yeah. So is Leo here somewhere? Leo's having a debate tonight. Yes. With a modern day debate, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what the fuck is it? Oh my God. That's right during Saturday Night at the Atheist.
God, that's like way too late.
We're going to have to do Saturday Night at the Atheist on Sunday again.
And that's 4 a.m. here, I think, or 5.
Okay.
It's 5 a.m. No, I'm not going to watch him at 5 a.m.
Yeah, Trial by Rona. Well, a large part of my family just
Okay,
told me
guys, I'm going to quit.
Okay. We'll
I
see
love you all. Bye-bye.
Okay, love you, Manny.
Bye.
Later. Bye. So a large part of my family just told me that the Rona isn't real, that it's actually pneumonia that people are dying of, an epidemic of pneumonia or something, and I'm concerned about them because they're in a county in Minnesota which just last week doubled the amount of cases that they have.
Anyway, Speed, thanks for having me. I'm gonna go.
Okay, I'm probably gonna be done here anyway. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the talk on foundations and all of that is, kind of important. I don't know. So something that I'm concerned about, there's something about the way they approach science that is just so screwed up. And we're going to be getting a little more into this Dr. Charles Jackson. He is the worst PhD guy that I've seen to date. And I'm just appalled by him. I watched his debate with Herman Mays, and enough of it to, I think I watched. Well, I fell asleep during 10 minutes of it, but anyway, it was just horrible how he just rolled over the topics and how he didn't have any understanding of genetics at all, and he just apologized at every, point. He had some sort of little thing that he could say, and some of them are just absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, so I'm going to end the weather report. Nobody's around. Nobody else wants to come in and say hi, so I'm going to get on with my day. I think we're going to have Saturday Night at the Atheist on Sunday because Leo can't join us, and Walker is usually more available on Sunday, and we do love to have Walker. So we'll see what happens tonight. We might do something else tonight. Anyway, any degree will do ya. Yeah. You just got to get them PhDs, because as long as we have one PhD or 5 PhDs in our hand, we can ignore the 100,000 or 1,000,000 other PhDs who don't agree with you at all. Because we had this one guy, James Tour. Just, James Tour is like their god. It's like, James Tour, I'm sorry, he talks like a sausage. Anyway, so I think we're going to go through this Charles guy a little later. There are some gems in there that are worth talking about. So I'm leaving. Fuck, I'm going away. Goodbye, guys. Thank y'all. Subscribe.